Hello, everyone, and welcome to the season two finale of the Tips and Bricks podcast, where we discuss all things Lego and share some of the community's best tips about those bricks we all love. My name is Alex. My pronouns are he, him. I'm the founder of Tips and Bricks and one of the hosts on our podcast. Today, I'm very pleased to be joined by all of our regular hosts as we cap out this season of the podcast. So, first, let's come and check in with you, Bethany. How are you today?
I am doing well. As of the time that we're recording this, I am in the pre-brick world panic building panic. So we're getting everything done, trying to, but also making extraordinary progress. It turns out sometimes when you procrastinate, it can be beneficial. So we're doing okay.
I feel like people
Fantastic.
tell themselves that, but is it really true?
Sure, it is now.
In the
Whenever
week
there's a
before Brick World.
deadline,
Yeah.
yeah, the deadline helps, doesn't it? Because you've got to get it built. So, what are you going to do apart from some overnight building? I've done that many a times.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, Clay, we'll come to you next. How's everything with you?
Well, living the dream. I'm actually, as of now, I don't know when this will drop in terms of posting, but I am building the Friends Grand Hotel, which has been a lot of fun so far. There's also a new masonry brick recolor, which
Oh,
very sneaky. I won't spoil it, but it's one that I was like, is this really a recolor? This has been around forever. And then when I dug into it,
wait, why
a
not spoil
one
it?
by four exists.
I'm not going to be able to close that browser in my
Okay.
brain.
So
Help.
it's
Is it the
lavender.
lavender?
It's
I was about to
lavender.
say it's the
Yeah.
lavender because that
And the
exists
one
in
by four has
1x4.
been around forever,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently the one by two is now a recolor in
Hmm.
2026. I was like,
Oh.
what?
I feel
Yeah,
like the 1x4 in lavender is like a pretty early masonry brick recolor. Like
I
I feel like
feel
I
like it
see that a
might be.
lot.
Yeah. I feel like I have a ton of them too. I don't know if I got
Yeah.
them off a pick-a-brick wall or if it's
Pick
a
a brick
bunch of
wall for
old
sure.
friends. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably what it
Classic
is
on
then.
there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Wow, well, you learn something new every day. Thank you
Yeah.
for
Right.
that, Clay.
Hmm.
Fun fact. Brilliant. Well, Evan, we'll come to you next. How's everything with you?
I'm doing okay. I'm excited to record the podcast episode.
Very good, very good. Been building any Lego recently?
Yeah, I'm working on a set mod, which is very fun, and we'll talk about that actually. So,
Amazing. Well, I can't wait to get into it.
hmm.
Well, our listeners will be used to by now. We usually start the episode with the favorite part of the hobby question. But since you've heard all of us many times now, we're not going to
Hmm.
answer that question today. But feel free to go back and listen to some of our hosts talk about their favorite things on previous episodes. So without any further ado, let's head on into our first segment. Clay, take it away.
Awesome. So today's first segment is custom conversations, which is basically an echo of what we do on the blog every day, what y'all listeners do in your own communities and your own houses, maybe even on your computers and studio as well. But we just talk about mocks, my own creations is the term as we use it. And that's just something that a Lego fan likes to build and design, like all of us here. But we're also talking about something called modifications, which, I
Mm.
mean, y'all have listened to this, so make it, mod it, mock it was like, what's the difference in modifying a set versus creating your own, making your mock? So we want to talk specifically about set upgrades today, and
Hmm.
that's something that we do post on pretty frequently. I feel like we've done them a lot, especially in the past year or so. And someone on our team takes like a set that we've gotten from Lego and then they upgrade it. They change it in some form or fashion. And I know, Evan, you alluded to a different one, but I'm actually going to throw it to you to talk about one that you've already published and done, which was where you changed a soccer ball into the Death Star.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was very, very fun. That was, what post number was that? I think I
Let's
have it
see.
pulled up right here. It is post number. Oh, it went away. And now it's
It's
back.
it's posted 30.
303 or oh 3033. It's turning set 43019 soccer ball into the Death Star. And so this came about because I was trying to think when I got these Editions Lego sets. It was both the soccer ball and the trophy. They're just so not up my alley, either of those things. I'm really not interested in football or soccer or whatever you call it. And so both of these sets really had zero interest for me in actually building them. And so I was like, how can I actually enjoy making a post out of this. And so my idea was to make a modification of actually both the sets. So we'll get into both of them. But first, talking about the soccer ball, I had never done a set mod before. And so I decided to start with this because it's really just a recolor, you know? I think that is one of
Hmm.
the easier ways to like soft launch into modding is to just like take an existing set and honestly just change the colors of it. Because oftentimes, if those parts already exist in other colors, you're still kind of following the instructions in a way, you know? It's not
Mhm.
Yeah.
super creative in terms of like concept, but the overall execution I think was really fun. And it required a little bit more than just a simple recolor, especially
Yeah.
for the Death Star. You have to have like the super laser, which required a
Mhm.
bit of like reversing the direction of the dish and having the green lasers pointing out of it. So there was some
Mhm.
fun challenges, and also getting the trench around the Death
Yep.
Star was also a fun challenge. And
That looked very tricky.
it is very tricky, and honestly, my solution does not hold together well. It's one of those that, like, if I look at it the wrong way, the trench will just like pop off. And so I definitely need to mod it in the future. And I'm actually going to give a shout out and some credit. This is why I lost the post earlier, is because I had pulled up this other post from another builder that actually had the same idea as me. And I actually want to publicly apologize to the underscore bricked underscore cave because they posted their Death Star mod and I commented on it as part of the Tips and Bricks like account being like, hey, like this is so awesome. Like, would you mind giving us credit for the post? Because they posted it like 2 months after we made our set mod. And you know what? I was in the wrong. And I apologized to them in the comments. They posted about this idea 2 days before we made our post. So
Oh,
we must have conceptualized it at like the same
whoops.
time. Yeah, so that was my bad. But they posted that they were ordering the parts for it. Basically, it was like one of those
Okay.
like they were like ordering the parts and they're just like build a Death Star from a football and like Death Star mod. And so you know what? It was a couple days before, so I'll give them some credit. And theirs looks better than mine also, so I'll give them even more credit. They've been working on it for the last couple months and like
Yeah.
keep modifying it. And originally it was kind of like mine where it was more of just a recolor, but now they've tweaked it and edited it and it looks really stable and really cool. It was kind of like how I've wanted to continue to progress mine a bit.
Mm.
And so yeah, definitely check out the underscore bricked underscore caves Death Star mod.
That I like what you said about color because I feel like
Hmm.
it's an easy way in, like you said. I also know people have done it sometimes, I guess out of necessity. Like I've seen people build like, oh, I'm doing the UCS Millennium Falcon, but it's just like wild colors because it's just parts from their collection. I know my older brother did that once with the White House, where he took the White House instructions. It was just like this
Hmm.
super colorful one that he had built. Is color where maybe you started with set mods, Bethany, or was it something different for you?
Oh boy, you know what? I can't remember where it started, but the color set mod is one that I've done that I've really enjoyed. I took the Mona Lisa and changed the parts around so that her skin, her hair, her dress, her background, all of that reacted in different ways under blacklight. And so I call her the Galona Lisa because, as one does. So I love how all of you just your eyes just went, oh, at the yes.
Bethany
I know,
jokes.
I know, I'm sorry. But it was a really fun experience. And to your point, Evan, it was very challenging because I did have to rebuild foundationally some of the things because the pieces didn't exist in the color I need. So it looks like, oh, it was just an easy color swap. And it's like, no, like I had to strip it down all the way to the base and rebuild everything around it for this one piece to make sense. So it was a really good experience though. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Have you ever modded a set like beyond just that type of recolor where you like really overhauled something almost to the level where it's like no longer a mod, but debatably a mock?
Um, yes, I have. So, I took the pirate ship, the 3-in-1 creator pirate ship. I know they've had several now, so it was the first one that came out in a while. And I turned that into a boat for Muppet Treasure Island. But I needed to be able to access it and have it come completely apart because I had moving functions inside, under it, around it, behind it. So I built it and then completely took it apart and completely re-engineered the whole thing. So yes, it looks like a pirate ship, but it is completely redone. It's been gutted. So it's not as like soccer ball to Death Star, but I did change it from pirate ship to, Kermit the Frog's ship. I don't know that that really counts, but
I like our mod
I think
mock
that counts.
scale
yeah,
is from soccer ball to Death Star or from pirate ship to Muppet Treasure Island.
yeah, Muppet
Like,
Treasure Island
is
ship.
that our scale?
Sure. Yeah.
And Alex, obviously you founded Tips and Bricks and custom building like was kind of the entry point there for like the whole blog. Was set upgrades like was that kind of more where you started, which I know a lot of kind of custom builders start there, or was that something that came later for you?
It's a good question. I was thinking about this, and I think that when I was much younger and I first got into Star Wars and I had like lots of Star Wars sets, one of the things I actually did was kind of recolor some of the markings on the ships to all be like the 501st, blue coloring, that kind of thing, right? So
Mm.
that was a very fun memory I have of, I guess, modding. But then I think more often what I quite enjoy doing is I remember taking sets like the ATTE, which is a great parts pack, and modding like taking that way beyond modding it and just creating alternate builds based off it. So I think I tried to create like a Republic gunship, I created some A-wings, I created a
Love it.
hangar, loads of different things from that. So yeah, I feel like taking sets apart, turning them into something else. I still love seeing those because I feel like people can be so
Hmm.
creative with what they come up with. But mods still, yeah, I still love those. I think Evan did an amazing job with the soccer ball. And I think the great thing about mods and I mean mocks in general really is you can use them to create things that Lego either wouldn't never do or
Mm.
that everyone wants. Like everyone wanted that circular or the Sapphire Death Star, right? Rather
Yeah.
than the Death Slice. So this is a great way to do
Mm.
it. And we've basically got the instructions for it. It's just a quick recolor. It's great.
I
Yeah,
guess
you bring up a oh, Bethany.
I was just saying, I guess my mind circled back when you said that. I guess the closest I've ever gotten is when I got all of the Disney sets that launched January 1st of 2026 and took all the parts and tried to take the parts from
Oh
the sets and build
yeah.
something. And I made I think I called it the face stealer, where it's this giant doll that's stolen the face because they had the Disney
The
little glamour
faces
dolls.
were interesting.
The
Right.
faces were
Something
the skirt.
something of nightmares, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we had fun, but
They're part of Evan's Little Freaks collection.
Yes,
yeah.
I love the little freaks.
I guess what you said as well, Alex, about like taking a set and reusing the parts within it to create something entirely new. Like we see that all the time. Obviously, Rebrickable is a great place for it. But I don't know. I we own language, so we can create the definitions. But that makes me think about like what is the actual difference between a mod and a mock? Like, is a
Mm.
mod because it's only using the parts that come within the box? Is there some other type of rule or
Yeah.
definition?
It's
I,
I
it's
think
interesting. There's no
an
line, I
alt
think. It's
build.
whatever one wants to say. Go for it, Evan.
An alt build, I think, starts to become a mock at a certain point. I
Hmm.
think that if you're just using the parts from a set and going in a completely different direction, then that is a mock. Because like it's a mock with confines, with restraints, but like that
Hmm.
is the same thing if you were gonna buy a just you're just
Limited
gonna use the
number of
parts of your
parts. Yeah.
collection. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of a similar thing that you have to start somewhere. You have to have some sort of parts. And so I think that a mod should still stay true to the essence of what the original Lego set was. And so I think the soccer ball into the Death Star is kind of one of those that is still within the realm of a set mod because it's still the same shape, it's still using most of the same techniques, and
Hmm.
the overall presentation is very similar. It's really just a reskin at the end of
And
the
you even
day.
had the internal scene. You
Yes.
still had like where the function of it opens. You just obviously
hmm
changed the scene to be Star Wars.
Exactly. And
Interesting.
that felt like kind of like the limit of a mod. I don't know how much further I would have to go. But if I like let's say I took that like Death Star and I like completely like took out the internals and like maybe changed the shape and had it be like a semicircle. Maybe I made it like a Pokeball that like fully opened up or something. That
Hmm.
would be more of a mock, I feel like, if I completely
Interesting.
changed the actual function of it, you know? But it's up for debate.
All right, hot take. I completely disagree with all of you.
Oh, I like it.
I think it counts as a mock if you have changed one thing. Now, here is why. When you have a little kid who is building and they're like, "Look, I stuck a frog on that." You don't say, "Oh, good job, you changed the instructions." You like, "Hey, I love what you did. I love how creative you were." And what I have seen as I've been working with AFOL, so I'm getting ready to teach a class at our local brick shop on how to build a mock 101, like help, how do I get started? And what I see over and over working with adults is the fear of, well, was I really creative? Did I really do this? Am I really okay branching out on my own? And that anxiety, but also that unknown, I think can prohibit people from being creative with it. So I think that if you change something from a Lego set, it can count as a mock because you are showing your creation and your creativity.
I
Yeah.
like this in like theory.
I
Like I think this
know.
sentiment is like adorable. It's really sweet, but like let's also not like lie to our children. Like I feel like
Wow. Wow.
I feel
I
like
lie
Wow,
all the
Evan.
fostering
time, Evan.
creativity can be still like a mod, you know? Like just because
Yeah.
you're editing something doesn't mean that it isn't creative. You know what I mean? Like having
Yeah.
a template to like jump off of and still like I think the idea that a mod is not doing creativity is like completely false. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
doesn't need to be a mock entirely to have creativity.
Yeah.
Even just like you said, even just you don't even have to add a frog to it. You can even just be posing the minifigures differently than how and playing with the set in a way that the set wasn't originally
Mhm.
promoted or intended to. And that is still creative, you know, even if you're not really changing anything about the set at all. And so I think just encouraging different levels of creativity without like defining it as just like, oh yeah, you made a brand new Lego set. Like I feel like that's just like
Well, and I mean, yeah, I think in our online discourse, it is very important for all of us AFOLs, especially those who are seasoned AFOLs. Odds are, if you're listening to this or watching this, you fall into that category because you're watching a podcast about Lego. I think it's really important that we are careful with our words and encouragement because I have seen so many people get dunked on and been like, you didn't really do anything. That just all you did
Mhm.
was change a color. That's not. And I think that's why my hot take is so strong, is because I've seen so much negative commentary that I want to make sure we stay positive for people who are taking their first steps because we all took our first steps and we're brave enough to continue. And I want to see others do that.
All right, I definitely agree with that. I think that I like your direction, your extreme direction, way better than the negative extreme direction. Like that
Oh
to me
yeah.
is like the
Yeah.
worst way to go. Like to be
Yeah.
like, oh, you're not great. Like, shut up. Like that's that's
Well, and
that's
I
the
mean,
worst take.
the way we use language is also obviously going to be situational within
Mhm.
context. Like when we say make it, mod it, mock it, we kind of have to create a little bit of rigid categories for the purposes of a game. You know, perhaps some conventions might also have rules in terms of like what you're allowed to present. Like some will not allow you to bring official sets as is as part of a display, perhaps. So like within situations, perhaps it does matter. But I mean, I agree with the overall sentiment. Like if you're doing something and you're being creative with it, like call it what you want to call it, just go for it.
I kind of agree with that, Bethany there, and I would maybe say that, if you're adding pieces to a set, how many pieces do you have to add for it to become a mock? I kind of am on Bethany's side that if you're just adding one piece, that's if adding some creativity, right? And I would say that any mod is a mock, but not every mock is a mod.
Whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa.
wait, give me that one
Interesting.
more time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every mod is a mock.
Okay.
So every modification is my own creation,
Okay.
but not every my own creation is a modification.
Okay.
That's fair. I
Okay.
see the
Yeah.
Yeah?
logic behind
Yep.
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
That makes sense. I like how all
Yeah.
of us reacted so strongly and you just repeated it and we're all like, yeah.
Now we got it.
There you go,
You didn't
guys.
even really change what you
Everyone on
said.
board.
I was just like, wait, I gotta go backwards here, and I can't go backsies. So yeah.
Too many acronyms, aren't there? Too many
Mhm.
acronyms as well.
Well, I know, Evan, you did mention that you have a set upgrade coming. Do you want to give
Ooh.
us a little bit of a hint of
Sure.
what inspired you even?
Oh my God, this is definitely my most ambitious attempt of Lego building actually ever. I would say I've never ever tried
Wow.
to do something like this.
No pressure, man. Gosh.
Whoa.
Right.
I'm actually trying to keep it really chill. But it's been a little challenging for sure. But I'm trying to modify the Additions trophy, the other FIFA Lego set. And my thought was when I got this set, it just like to me, that set just looks like a giant like gold blob. It doesn't really read to me how it's
Mhm.
supposed to unless you're super familiar with the World Cup trophy, which you know what? I bet a lot of the world is. I'm not. To me, when I see it in the Lego store, I'm just like, literally, what is that? It's just like an unshapely thing.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, like, what other gold things could I modify? And so, like, modify it into. And so I started actually with C3PO's head. And I actually made in
Oh,
studio a pretty good version of C3PO's head before I realized why would someone pay $200 for a C3PO bust head when you could buy an actual C3PO
Oh,
Lego
the
set for
buildable
$130?
C-3PO.
And I was like,
Good
that
point.
makes sense.
oh,
So I
yeah.
scrapped
Hmm.
that and it was like, okay, but this head sculpt, like, I feel like I can get away with. And so what's another cool iconic gold thing? And so I was literally like on Google Images scrolling through like gold things. And then I just saw a picture of an Egyptian mask. And I was like, wait, that's actually kind of cool. Lego's never come out with like an Egyptian pharaoh like tomb mask. And that could be something that could be really captivating and possible with all the gold parts in the set, maybe. And so I played around a bit with Studio just to see if I could get the general face shape. And once I got to a certain point, I was like, okay, I have to try this in person and see if it actually like works physically. And let me tell you, as someone that has never done a full alt build before, um, step one is just taking out every part of the set and just laying it
Hmm.
on the table, which
Yeah,
I think that unless you really mentally prepare for it, for
so
like a
much.
2000 something part set, it's like, oh my God,
It's
Yeah.
I
so
have to sort
much.
all of this.
And then
But
you're grouping it by like, oh, here are brackets, here are plates, and all that.
mhm. And I don't have that much space. And so I was kind of like designated to like five different things I could block things into. So I mostly did color to like sort and separated certain like gold small pieces and gold big pieces. But then I actually was able to get the face to look pretty good. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can try to do a more full thing with this. And so coming soon, it's gonna hopefully look good. We'll see. I'm like halfway done.
I'm excited. I was very impressed with your in progress pictures that you've shown us. And so, but you started in studio.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Do you want to like kind of explain to people how they could then start? Because obviously you're not
Yes.
like
Did you
manually finding every single
did you
part.
download the palette?
So I didn't realize you could do that until this. And so yes,
Yeah.
absolutely recommend this. If you want to do an alt build, I highly, highly recommend just not even if you're going to even if you're going to design it only in person, I still recommend downloading the palette from Bricklink to upload into Studio because what's so nice about it is it gives you a full list of the parts that are in the set. And every time you use one of the parts, it'll
Mhm.
kind of decrease the quantity of it. And so you can really keep track of, okay, what pieces are like being used here. And instead of having to constantly refer back to the instructions, I find Studio's sorting system so
Yeah.
much easier to go through about like all the slopes are like listed together and you can even list it by
Yeah.
color, which is great. You can even go into like the pearl gold parts and I could see all the pearl gold parts that are available to me. And so
Ooh.
I thought that was a really great starting point.
So you found the strength to be instead of how Lego highlights their parts in the back by color, you found that it was the strength was you could organize them by type, so plates and such. You found the strength to be that it kept track of what you had.
Hmm.
Was what else did you feel that building in studio gave you as a builder rather than because I am a
Mm.
my hands need to be busy.
Me too.
I have to like touch it to visualize it, but you have intrigued me. Like, so what are the other benefits you have found
I
doing
think that
this?
the ability for like quick play around, especially with something that is as complex as sculpting a face, I
Mm,
think because I was doing so many like stud reversals and just trying to fit a lot of like little geometries together, sometimes maybe that would be easier in person, but because I was also replicating it on two sides and making sure it like still looked good, it was so much easier to do a copy and mirror on Studio than have to like rebuild something and figure out how to attach it.
Ah.
And often sometimes too, I was like already kind of sculpting out this very fragile at first face, super, super fragile because of all the different directions and snot work that wasn't fully stabilized yet. And instead of having to worry about, oh, is this going to hold together right now? It's in studio. It's
oh
digital.
yeah.
It could just float in the sky,
Okay.
you know? And
That's very
so
fair.
then once I got to a certain point where like, okay, this face is like pretty sculpted. I'm going to work on building this in person and I know it's not going to be stable, but as I build it, I could see, okay, here are the loose connection parts. And also building it in
Okay.
studio allowed me to like, let's say there was like a tight little spot on the internal that I needed to fix something in. I didn't have to take the whole thing apart, you know? I could just hide some of the elements and then get in there and like tweak it a little bit without having to like crumble this thing
Actually,
apart in
yeah,
my
yank
hands, you know?
parts of it and have to
Mhm.
I
redo
thought
it.
it was really useful. Now at this point, once you get to a certain point, I think you need to just jump in and play with it in person. But maybe not. Maybe someone could do the full thing in studio.
That's really cool. I appreciate you diving into that because that helps me understand the benefits that come from it. And you're right, there is you can leave something hanging in the air while it's falling apart in real life. So,
Totally.
um, how did you learn to do the copy and mirror? Because I always forget that exists. Did you use, so we have that studio guide that Pedro put together. That's
Hmm.
incredible. Did you learn it from that or did you discover it automatically? Because this is also fascinating to me how people discover tools.
Honestly, I think that that was discovered organically at some point, not during this project. I work mostly in studio when I want to design anything, just because I don't have a parts collection at hand, so that's kind of out of
Mm.
necessity. And when you highlight a bunch of parts, and like, I think if you highlight even just one part, it might have to be two though. It's one of the first things that pops up on like the bottom bar is the copy and mirror, and I think
Oh,
it's one of the most useful tools they have.
okay. I need to
Mm.
go practice that now. That's cool. I've just always been manually doing it.
No, do not manually do it. That would take
Now we know
so
why Bethany
long.
doesn't use Studio.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
don't
No,
do that.
I do, but I just am like control
Yeah.
V, control
No, I mean, I'm
V.
the same way in terms of creativity. I feel like my hands help me a lot. And
Hmm.
right now I'm working on a set upgrade of the Unicorn Dream Cafe and
Ooh,
trying to reimagine it as a pride float. Because it has like
perfect.
so many colors and it comes with a unicorn already. I'm like, it's right there. But that one, I think it was maybe 30 or $40 originally, not a ton of parts. So like I was easily able to spread this on my dining room table and just like kind of get into it. But especially for those bigger sets, or even for people who just like I'm not sure yet. I think that Studio is a great entry point by downloading that palette of parts and then kind of working from there. I think we're coming to the end of the conversation, but Alex, I want to throw it back to you because you mentioned Star Wars. I don't know if you've had a chance to see the Mando movie, but we've had kind of weird Star Wars sets this year with Smart Wave kind of taking up like the first chunk of the year, and then we now have Mando property. Are there maybe any Star Wars sets in your future? Like, like there's a ship you want to mock or a set that you've seen like, this set needs a little intervention. Anything on the horizon for you?
It's funny you asked that actually. I actually went to see him in the cinema yesterday.
Ooh.
I have to say, I thought it was a
Oh.
bit. It was
No,
fun.
don't say
It was
that.
fun,
Oh,
but
okay.
I just thought it wasn't really saying anything. Like it was just a fun adventure, which I get movies can be fun adventures, right? But I don't know. I feel like the first season was so strong and had such good art. The characters just didn't really have any character arcs. They just were the characters
Oh.
for the
Mm,
whole story.
Okay.
Well, I guess there was a little one, but I don't know. Didn't work. It didn't work for me. But anyways, it was a fun movie. There are some fun sets from it, I have to say. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Razor Crest, we've got a few of those now. Is
hmm
they brought
And
out
a
a new
lot of different
set. So
scales.
the Sandcrawler, they've basically modded that into a grey version, haven't they? Which is quite
Yeah.
fun. But that comes with a good Mudhorn figurine.
hmm
So I quite like the set. So yeah, well, I'll have to say I'm sure I'll pick up at least one of those sets when they come out.
Yeah, the
I
Sandcrawler stuck out to me a lot. And I'm like, and they're also, I mean, I know we're not in the brittle brown era, but I'm also like, they're kind of smart throwing some gray on here. So 10 years from now, people won't be complaining about this one.
I love that Lego almost modded their own sets with this because they're the Imperial remnant. So I'll be very curious if anyone is like, Psh, I'm not going to buy another one. I'll just modify it on my own. So I
hmm
mean, I mean that's
That
because it's
is true.
basically what they did with most of the sets.
Yeah,
But I
I've seen
like them.
a lot of people have modded the new Razor Crest set with the old one because the new
Ooh,
one has much better engines, the design, but a lot of people prefer the size, the slightly bigger size, and also the
yeah.
um
Mm.
also the like the color scheme, I think, of the original. Personally, maybe that's a hot take. I think that the little bit of yellow in the new Razor Crest looks way better than an all gray ship. But I can see some people wanting to stay true to the original, so it's cool to be able to combine the both of them. I've seen a bunch of people do that and looking really good.
That is kind of cool too, with stuff like that. Like, how many versions of X-Wings have we gotten over the years? So instead of having to be like, well, I like this one, but I don't really care about this one, like you can just kind of pick and choose the different elements of all these variations and then make it into your, what do we say, your own mod, your own manga at that point, once it's grabbing 90 different ones. All right, well, this has been fun. And obviously, y'all listening, stay tuned for more set upgrade posts like Evan and I mentioned too on the horizon for us. I think we also have some other ones coming soon. There's been a lot of great ones in the past few months. Felix did this cool AT-AT diorama of like the kind
Yeah.
of MIDI scale one. Brian is a One Piece person, and he took one of the smaller sets from the first wave and like really expanded it out into a cool scene. What other ones am I missing? I know there's been a ton of really good
Evo did the
ones.
Iron Man. She did
Mhm.
the Iron Man. I forget which. It was like the Mark 5 to the Mark 4, something like that.
We know
Sorry
that
if I
you're a
got it
Marvel
wrong.
super fan based on the Dave episode.
Yeah. And also Bethany, didn't you do the Monsters Inc? You
Yeah.
rebuilt
I
the
rebuilt Boo from
Boo.
her girl form into her monster form, and I think she looks so much cuter as a little monster.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think that kind of like that's what the original should have been, honestly. Like
Yes.
it's almost more iconic in that form of Boo than the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow us for cool ones. We also love suggestions. So if like there's something like y'all have heard us talk about too, like, hey, I thought y'all were gonna mod something, or even like when we played games and talked about modifying stuff, like those suggestions at us. We're always looking for other sets to kind of reimagine and modify or even create a mock out of. All right, I'm gonna throw it to who? Evan for our game.
Yeah, I'm excited to play a game today. And so we're going to do a new parts draft because we're halfway through 2026 now, and we have gotten so many new parts and exciting molds. And we've picked out just enough for us to select a team of 3 parts each. And so that'll be 12 parts total that we'll be drafting during this game. And so we're going to go one by one in a snake draft to make our selection. And once someone picks one of the parts, it is theirs alone. It's off the table for everyone else. And so at the end, 12 of the 15 parts that we've selected will have been picked, and we'll evaluate who has the best team of parts. And we're going to discuss also the parts that was left behind. Oh, did I say 15? I meant
You did,
13.
but it's
Oh,
fine. That's
oh,
why I
So,
made a
good.
crazy
yeah.
face.
Yeah,
I was
12
I
of
was
13
like, oh
parts.
no,
Sorry.
I'm missing some. I don't know
Yeah.
what they
No,
are.
no, it's
Where do
okay.
I find them?
So we're going to discuss the one part left behind, which is way funnier to be like, oh, what
Oh.
is the sad
Yeah,
part
the
left
one
behind?
sad little part.
Yeah. I'm one of those people, I don't know about you guys, but like that feels like feelings towards inanimate objects, so I'm definitely gonna feel sad for that part. But it's okay. I'll work through that on my own. So here is the list of parts. I'm gonna explain 3 and then I'll pass it on to you guys. But one of them is part 7826. It is the 1 by 1 by 2/3 double convex corner slope.
These
I know that
names.
sounds kind of crazy, but basically just imagine a 1 by 1 slope, like the little guy, but
Peace slope.
yes, and imagine just as a corner brick. And so you're able to connect 2 of them with this piece kind of like at like that perpendicular angle to create like a really nice corner slope.
Hmm.
And so love that part. There's also the 8043 fish skeletal skeleton. And so it's just like the classic fish mold, except now it has little bone ridges in it and a little eye socket to make
So
it look
cute.
dead. It's a great part. Um, Also 7610, a steering wheel
Hmm.
with a 3 stud diameter, which I'm pretty sure at this point has probably been used more in like a botanical or
Hmm.
a like internal for a larger build than an actual steering wheel because it's very useful for clipping little parts around it to create some sort of circular element. And then I'll also say the one more part, which is, oh, this is a really good one, 7904, the round corner 2 by 2 plate. It is just like, actually, I don't think this part exists in
Mm-mm.
tile
Not in a
form, but
tile or anything.
it does if you have a 2 by 2 macaroni and a
Hmm.
1 by 1 macaroni, like little corner slope, and you put them together. But now you have that,
As a
but a
plate.
plate.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, those are 4 of the 13 parts. Clay, can you say 3 of the other parts?
Yes. So we've got 7905, which is a plate round 1 by 1 with
Mm,
rounded leaf. It is just a little open stud plate with a single leaf blade. It looks very similar to a tri-leaf blade that's existed for a bit of time,
Hmm.
but this is just a single blade. We also have 8040, which is a steampunk gun blade. It's a really wild looking weapon from the new CMF Vampire Hunter, I think is her name.
Hmm.
And it has a bar that the minifig can grab. There's also space so you can attach a stud on the end. And the top of it looks like you can clip onto it as well. And then there's this nice, like, big blade up underneath the kind of gun thing. And then kind of cheating with this one, but we have 7828 and 7829, which we're counting as one because it is the left and right version of a 2x2 modified wedge tile. So this wedge has existed with two studs on it for a while, but now we're getting a perfectly smooth tiled version of it.
Oh,
So it's like
I didn't see
two
that
by
before.
two, but has this nice little slice out of it.
Mhm.
Oh, I totally didn't see. I was like, why do we have
Now
this?
it's
You
changing
just
your list. You're like, wait a second.
now I get it.
Do you want to do your three next, Bethany?
Sure. And I'll just put, if you're visual like me and you're just like hearing numbers and words, if you want to hop onto our YouTube stream, we do put up visuals of all the little
Yeah.
parts, just in case you're sitting here going,
Mhm.
wah, 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 wah. So here's some more wah, wah for you. Part 7791 is the axle 1L with oval panel / paddle. Okay. It is an axle that has a canoe paddle on the end that's red. And it is only come in smart play sets, so they can go pew, pew, pew when it gets, well, not pew, pew. It doesn't make that sound, but yeah, it makes a different sound when it goes in front of the sensor. I have been scratching my brain trying to figure out, like, what else could we use this for? And I haven't found one. So that's what it exists at the moment. We've also got 7674, a bracket 1x2 by 2x2, centered inverted. If you have seen the bracket, that's like a tile that's then got something sticking up in the middle with two studs, this is the opposite of that. And beyond that, you're on your own. 7741, drooping layered leaves. This was one of the big buzz items when it came out in January. It's like a 1x1 stud that ends with drooping leaves. So if you could take that tri-corner plate leaf that has the 3 leaves and like extend it, skinny it down and make it curve down, that's this drooping leaf. It's got a 45, 90. It's got a 90-degree angle to it because it curves down like an L. You like my math?
I was
40,
like, sure, I agree with you.
45 to 90. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Amazing. And to finish off with the final three, we have 5848, which is the 1x1 curved slope corner round. So for this one, I guess the best way to describe this one is I think I've seen it used as like headlights on Speed Champions cars because it can kind of round off some bars. Round off some bars, round off some curved slopes almost.
Mhm.
The next part we have then is 7532, which is the 1x1 round quarter brick. So imagine a 2x2 round brick, like a tube, and just cut a quarter off that. Again, gives quite a few more different options for creating curved shapes. Always nice to have. And our final one is 5854, the 2x2 curved slope with 2 recessed studs. So for this, imagine the curved slope, which like 1x1, it's got a plate at the end. Shave off a plate from the bottom of it and make it a 2x2 rather than a 1x2, I guess. So yeah, those are our 13 parts.
Yeah. I absolutely know which one is going to be left behind. I've written it on my notes app.
Oh,
I'm
really?
so
Let's see
confident.
if this is right.
And I'll show it at the end if it's
Oh, I'm
right.
excited
Like, we'll
now.
see.
Oh,
Okay.
should we all write it down and then we'll share?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
should
write
all
down
We
write
mine.
should. Good call, good call. Let me get a piece of
Let me get a
paper. I love
notepad.
this.
In the meantime, while you do that, I entered us all into a random draft order
Okay.
generator thing. And so I'm going to click generate draft order. You're just going to have to trust me, but I promise I'm going to tell the truth here.
It's all right, Evan, we
Draft order
trust you.
results.
Okay.
Number 1 is Alex. Number 2 is me.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Clay, and number 4 is Bethany. So it's going to go like a snake. So then, Bethany, you're going to be the start of the second round up, and then back down to finish with Bethany.
I would just like to pause and say that I've been the last pick for every set draft
Oh,
we've
I'm
ever
so
done.
sorry.
That's okay. You know what?
And
I
Evan
own
says
it.
it's random.
I just know I'm the tail end, and you know what? It's all good.
Sometimes it's nice.
I don't think
like,
that's
because
bad.
it
No, I get
helps.
2 picks
Yeah,
back to
like
back,
if
yeah.
you're
Mhm.
debating between a few, like, okay,
You're
well
just
now
like,
I know.
It's got it.
But yeah.
I think looking at this, there's a very clear like top like 6 for me, and that
Interesting.
guarantees that you get like
Ooh.
2 of the top 6. So I would
Okay.
look at it in a very positive way.
I'm
Yeah,
excited to see what everybody picks. Okay. Are you keeping track somehow somewhere?
Yeah, I can keep track.
Okay, perfect.
All right, cool. Alex, you're up first.
Okay. Right, I think I'm gonna go with this. Maybe this is a road choice, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the 1x1 round leaf plate. I
Mm.
just
Wow.
really like this part.
That's good.
Sometimes I struggle with parts because sometimes they feel like cheating to me if they're
Hmm
like not making a set too easy to make. But I just feel like this opens up some great possibilities. It's used really well in the tulip set that I reviewed. I think that was earlier this year. To just create a really nice round tulip and finish off the shape basically. So yeah, I'm a big fan of any new leaf parts. So that's why that is my first pick.
Good
I think it's a
choice.
great first pick.
Mhm.
I was debating taking it also early on. This was a top three for me for sure. I also really like new leaf parts. This one doesn't feel like cheating to me. I think that there's nothing really
Mhm.
like it that exists in the Lego portfolio. And
True.
the three-pronged leaf is a three-pronged leaf, and you want a one-pronged leaf. This makes a lot of
Yeah, like
sense to
it
me.
feels like it opens up more possibilities. Like I'm
Hmm
even thinking of like a 1x1 snot brick that has studs on every side. And like if you put this on every stud facing up, like it'd make a pretty little plant. Like
Yeah.
Could do
even just like one of
ears.
these on a wall, like poking out of a castle wall. Like this, yeah, excellent
Yeah,
choice. It's just
as
probably my
Bethany
number
says,
one.
ears, feathers. I think there's so many different uses for it, right? So yeah,
Mm.
happy with my first pick.
Mm.
Nice. Okay, my first pick is going to be the 7904 round corner 2x2. I think that this is one of those parts that it, Lego, like you said, Alex, has been coming out with some like questionably too specialized parts, but this to me is one that was very necessary, fits within the Lego portfolio, and opens up so many doors for mock building. I've made a couple mocks mostly on Studio this year, and this has fallen into every single one of them. It is so useful. And I hope that we keep getting it in more and more colors.
Yeah, this is another excellent choice.
Hmm.
And I also think of like mosaics to me makes a lot
Hmm
of sense. Like I can see a lot of the people like Virginia Bricks who do mosaics. Like it just opens up a lot more where tiles kind of lock you in.
hmm
So yeah, this one's all over.
Before this part existed, in order to get this shape, you either needed to have, I'm pretty sure there's two parts I think you could have done, but they were so much bigger. Either like the full circle or the one that's like it's like a full, not even a semicircle, but it kind of has that
Oh,
shape.
it's the
You know what I
six
mean?
wide that has this on two ends and then would have,
Yes,
I guess, a 2x2 plate in between.
exactly. Which is like
Yeah.
that to me feels like
Yes.
almost too specialized at this point. Like this feels like the more logical part of that family.
And it fits it, right? Like it fits it exactly?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has the same ending slope, but it has a whole chunk coming out of it, so it's
Right.
so much more difficult to actually use it.
Right.
This is a very easy part to incorporate, and
Oh,
I love it.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Feel like this is one of those parts that'll be a staple for
Hmm
a long time. Like you'll see it in all sorts of sets.
hmm Play.
I am next, right? Yeah, okay. So my part is also one that I believe will be a staple, and that's the 7532, the round
hmm
1x1 quarter brick. I believe so far I've only seen this in Pokemon sets,
Hmm.
perhaps. At least that's the place where I first saw it mentioned when Daniel did his review of like the really expensive Pokemon set. And again, like I just feel like it opens up a lot of potential. We didn't, I guess we had the like a 1x2 version of this where it was like the open half circle, but this can fill in a lot of spaces. It
Hmm.
also obviously goes flush with the 2x2 macaroni brick if you needed it for that purpose, or even the bigger
Also,
Do you
macaronis.
think we'll ever get a plate version?
no, maybe not. That's a little too small, I feel like.
But
Well, I
it's a
wonder
brick.
because they fit the stud on here.
I mean, it's a
Mm.
brick. If it can be a brick, it can be a plate.
That's true. What I really like that this pairs with is the other part that is in this draft, which is the curved 1x1 corner
You're
round.
right, the
This on
corners.
top of that just creates like such a nice
Yeah.
little smooth round thing.
I also feel like again, I don't know why I'm gonna always keep going to castle, but like I'm just thinking of like a castle wall of these like kind of on the corners of it, rather than
Mm,
having to do a hard square on the corner of like a
Yes.
parapet. Like I just feel like this
mm.
one's gonna be in sets forever.
And it does give you, if you're doing the curved brick, the curved corner brick, the real small one, that's a 2x2, you can match them up, I believe, and it's still, and then it gives you a bonus in the middle. Like
Yeah,
it'll be
that's
good.
a good one.
All
Bethany,
right.
you get
I'm
two picks now.
I'm gonna celebrate my snakehood here. And I'm very excited that I actually get to pick my two top picks back to back.
Wow.
And I don't think they're gonna be ones people want. So I'll be very curious what you guys think. My top pick is 7674, that inverted bracket. So I use those to mount minifigures on all of my movement pieces. And sometimes it would just be really nice to have like the ability to have that stand and just stick it into a Technic beam or whatnot. And I actually scavenged and bought like two of the cheapest sets because one of the cheapest car sets that was like $10 sets had four of them in it, and so I bought that to scavenge them because I needed them for the museum I'm just now finishing. So it has already made its way into my MOC, so it deserves top priority.
I feel like our listeners may yell at us for that not being a number one pick. For like the fact that it even got to number four, even people on our team. Like
That's
imagine.
fair.
Yeah.
My only thing with this part, and it was definitely a top 5 pick for me, but for me this was a bit out of top 3, is only because we have so many brackets that this just feels like to me like another bracket. And I know that it's like it does its own thing. It definitely fills a niche that you need, but it is like a lot of other parts, I think, is kind of where it was out of my.
Here's where it excels. You
Oh, tell me.
technically could make the bracket part using like a 1x2 down bracket and a 1x1 up bracket, but then you've taken up 2 plate spaces in the back. This only uses 1.
Yeah.
So it gives you the same front bracket, but it takes up way less space and it centers it, whereas the others don't. So
Yeah. No, it's nice. It's really nice.
it's mine. So the other one I will take is 7741, the drooping layered leaf. I have yet to use this in a mock, but it looks like it could be really fun. And so I'm going to take it.
Nice.
I have to know, Alex, when you were talking about cheating, is this one of the parts that you consider?
No, it's not actually.
Okay.
I think there's one very specific part that I'm not going to spoil which one it is, but I feel like it's too
like on the
far.
list? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
We'll
which
get
one.
to it, Clay, don't worry.
I know which one you're going to pick. Yeah, for the cheating part. And I agree.
Okay, well, we'll see if that's left last. I think there's another one that could potentially be last then. Let's see. Let's see.
So it's back to me now.
Yes.
I am going to pick the corner cheese slope.
No!
I
Oh,
wanted that one.
no,
I
that's
thought
the
I was gonna
one.
get it. I
Wait,
thought I
That's
was
the
gonna
one I
get
don't
it.
like. That's the one I don't
Ooh,
like.
tell me
What?
first.
Whoa.
Tell me
Don't
first,
like
Alex,
it.
before we give our positive
Why?
pitches.
Guy, it doesn't look natural to me. I'm so used to the cheese slope that seeing a corner
It's
one is just
unnatural.
wrong. It's just wrong on my eye. I don't know what it is about it. It just feels like it shouldn't be a Lego part. It feels like a Mega Blocks part, guys.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know. There's just
Wow.
something unnatural
Strong
about
words.
it.
That's the part you draw a line on? That one?
Yeah, it's too. It's
There's this
oh, no, I
steampunk
don't
gun
like
blade, but it's the corner cheese wedge that feels unlike.
it.
Okay.
I'll let that slide. I'll let the skeleton fish
Oh my
slide.
God.
Even
I
the
love
3x2 modified
Alex's like
tile.
this is unnatural. Like the Anita Bryant of Lego parts.
It's
Wait,
too
that
far, guys. There's got to be a line, and that's been crossed.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you would have crossed a line with a different part. So
Yeah, I feel
Okay.
like I thought I knew exactly what he was talking about,
Mhm.
but I might be wrong.
Me too. Me too. I
So-
think that maybe we have the same idea of what part this is, and this is not the part I think is going to be picked last, but maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Alex, how do you feel about the cheese slope that's inverted?
Yeah, because that one also
Oh
came out
yeah,
this
I'm
year.
not a fan of that.
Oh my God, they're
No,
unnatural.
it just I don't know.
What
Maybe
about the
this
cheese?
is a really hot take.
What about
The
the
cheese
cheese
slope's
slope?
the cheese slope, guys. Let's not
What-
break the cheese slope.
What about the cheese slope that's got the
The
cheese?
pyramid,
Yeah, the pyramid cheese slope, but it's got edges on two
pyramid's-
sides.
the pyramid with the hard
Oh.
edges.
I think that's fine. I don't know. That's been around for a longer, right?
What?
There's no
Yes.
logic to this, guys. It's just
I love
my.
it. We need
It's
to have like a full
unnatural
hour of
and-
Alex describing
And-
what slopes are
yeah.
acceptable and what
I
you're
will
not.
say the
Unnatural and
inverted one.
illogical.
Inverted one is a little bit weirder. I think the corner one makes sense because actually, you know what? The inverted one also exists in
both
2x2
do.
form. They both do, so it kind of does make sense to have it both in a 2x2 and 1x1 form.
Yeah.
There's precedent for it.
But I love being able to the smaller the part sometimes I enjoy because of little gaps that you can fill. So to me, this just made sense because again, you can fill a gap on a nice little corner. So I like this part personally.
Good choice,
sorry,
Clay.
Alex.
It's a very natural part.
Oh wow.
Oh, we'll
I
agree
think-
to disagree there, Bethany.
So I'm going to pick the steering wheel, the 3-stud diameter steering wheel,
Oh,
7610. I think that this is
brilliant.
so useful. I'm going with like very useful parts, I feel like is my mojo
Mm,
for this.
hmm
I just really, really love the 3-stud diameter of it. I think that we don't get a lot of Lego parts that are in 3 studs, and I find myself like all the time whenever I'm building mocks, I need to have something that's like in some way like off-centered or like only like odd, I guess, an odd length. I long for a 3-stud part, and the fact that this can also create organic shapes with that 3-stud wideness when you
hmm
combine it with the semi-new clip with stud piece, like the
Yeah.
possibilities are just like endless here.
Yeah.
Like even imagine if you combined this with that little clip and stud piece with the first draft pick that Alex took, the leaf. You can make so many cool looking trees using this
Hmm.
part, you know, like I love this steering
And it
wheel.
is an open stud, so you could slide multiple of these on a
Yes.
singular bar,
They
right?
they do that for the new cactus, and it's really cool.
Oh.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
really
this
cool.
is so versatile. It's definitely not designed to be a steering wheel, and I love that about
No,
it.
that is what's so fun. Like it's named that, and how many times will it actually be one?
It's one of those that I love for you, but I feel like I would forget it exists for me and I wouldn't use it. So like I love that it
Really?
exists, but I need people to show me ways it can be used because I'll just be like, oh, well, I don't want to do it.
We need to
So
update our trees handbook, and this will be like a
Yeah.
part used
yeah,
90% of them.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. All right, so
Clay.
Al,
No,
Oh
I was
no,
gonna say it's
Alex.
Alex.
All
We're
right,
in a
Alex.
Alex,
row
you get to
now,
go
isn't it?
twice. Yeah,
Was
Yeah.
my take so diabolical that I did get a pick now?
Yeah.
yeah.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling.
Did I take your pick?
Um, you did,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Oh,
It's going to be my next pick for the plants for that reason alone. Is it really hypocritical if I choose the 1x1 curved slope because it's not that different to the cheese slope? Um,
I don't
the
think
like,
so.
That's hilarious. I actually want you to pick that. There's actually a deeper reason why I want you to pick it, so I think you should.
See, it's because I have seen it used in some speed champion sets, right? And it just finishes them off perfectly, and I feel like there's no way to do it. I think the reason I'm so annoyed about the cheese slope is for so long when making roofs, we had to get away with not having an easy way to round off
Mhm.
the cheese slope, and
mm,
people would come up with amazing techniques to, align the cheese slopes, all of that. And it
mhm.
just feels like, oh, well, now we can just use this to create corners. But I feel like the 1x1 curved slope is a bit different. You're not really using that for roofs. It's perfect just for rounding off some vehicles. So yeah, I think that's going to be my choice. 5,
Alex,
8, 4, 8.
you know that this part already exists with just one stud underneath, right?
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
What do you mean
Are
one
you
stud
sure?
underneath?
Do none of you know this
Like, is
exists?
it
No,
one
enlighten me.
plate taller, or is the
Yes. So
stud
kind of
pointing in the
like
opposite direction?
you know how like the curved slope that has the little ledge also had like a one stud below version and then they like shortened it. This is the same exact thing where like this exact same part existed and I'm sure they're going to phase it out now, but it just had
Oh,
one extra stud
yes.
underneath of
Yes,
space.
because I went to go
Really?
put one of the new ones away and I was like, they don't match. And I didn't
Mm-mm.
realize.
Intriguing.
And obviously this
Interesting.
one is better because if you want one that's one stud taller, you just put a stud on the bottom of it. You
Hmm
know, like
Yeah,
it's a
but
very easy solution. But it technically
interesting.
is something that is actually no. No, that's not easy
Is it?
because then it wouldn't be rounded
Yeah,
at the
exactly. I was
bottom.
gonna say we don't have a quarter stud underneath,
So maybe
Here's
we
so
do
there
need a
actually is a
quarter stud.
significant difference.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So maybe
Interesting.
that actually does have a unique use.
All right, Alex, give us your final pick. If you do have to pick one,
Oh,
you don't
do I
seem
have
thrilled.
to? Can I just have 3 of the rounded leaf? Honestly, like
Yeah, that's a good one.
after Evan took my steering wheel, I don't.
Well, now
I'm very
if
specific
you're
with my
not really sold,
parts.
you can just try to pick one that is what Evan
That's
thinks will
gonna
be left
annoy.
out,
Yeah.
just to make sure that
Mm.
his prediction is wrong.
No, you
That's
know what?
hilarious.
I think I'll go with the steampunk gun blade. That's quite a cool part that we've just not really seen before. Like, yeah, I'm a sucker for pearl gold parts as well. Um,
You were correct. You got the one Evan predicted.
what? Really? No. Oh.
Really, Evan?
I thought no one would
What's
pick it.
what's wrong with that part?
Really?
There's a much worse part on the list, Evan. There's a much worse part.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what's the point of this?
What's the point
It's
of it?
To kill
fun. What do
vampires,
you
duh.
mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I do
don't know.
Finn just doesn't like killing
There-
vampires.
There are people who are already working out ways to incorporate this into their architecture, side building details,
I was gonna
turning
say
it
this is one of
sideways.
those.
Like,
Yeah,
Oh, it's
like
going
I
into
could
a
see it in a
modular for
modular.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like with a clip where you only see like part of the blade, like at this interesting angle. I could
mhm,
also see, like
Mm,
you said about the leaf, Bethany, about like
mhm,
maybe some feathers or wings, like if you did it in the right way.
mhm.
Like I don't know exactly how that way would be, but I feel like some of the shapes
It almost
and the
look,
fact
it would
there's
be like
multiple
2
connections.
little horns and then the feathers.
I don't know. There's something about it that's like overcomplicated to me. Like it has like that little like swoopy thing at the bottom, and then it also has the little gear up top. And the part that I really actually dislike about this is the part where like the gear meets like that bar part that sticks out, where it has like a little indent in it. It almost looks like it's the shape of a minifigure like leg on its side.
Oh, it
And it
does
just
kind of
like
look like a
there's
leg.
so many details on this that I feel like could have been simplified more to feel like more Lego-y. I don't know.
Okay, so your
Mm,
issue is that it looks too good.
whoa. I just think it looks
Whoa,
too
hot take.
it feels over designed
If
for
over
me.
engineered, I feel so. Do you wish that they had a third connection point then on this?
Whoa. I think it already has at
I was gonna
least
say, I think there might be three
two.
actually, if that bar on top, if you can clip on like the kind of
Mm,
barrel sight of the gun.
I
it's
have one of
cool.
these. I should just go get it.
I do
It's
too, but
cool.
it's
I just think
downstairs.
that the other parts are a little bit more useful, maybe. I don't
That's
know.
fair. Alex, did you want this specific? I mean, I know you didn't really want anything, but are you envisioning this like as a minifigure weapon, or did you have a like a novel use for it that you could think of?
Yeah, I wasn't too excited about any of the others, so I feel like I just used this as a weapon. But I agree with what's been said. I feel like architectural details turn this at any angle you want, and you could create some cool ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay. Now, for my final pick, I think that the ones that are left over are very appropriately left over. I think we definitely picked the best ones first.
Mhm.
Um, there are two that I'm between that I think are deserving of a spot here, but one of them feels maybe a little bit too specific and easy to create of stuff that already exists. And so I'm going to take the skeleton fish
That's a
because
good choice.
I think that the skeleton fish is really cute. I think that we don't honestly. Lego's starting to make some more fish molds, and I actually think that like having more animals is really fun. And how many dead animals do we have that exists? Maybe this is the only one. And this to go along with like at the bottom of a ship mock when you have like the classic yellow like Lego skeleton, not yellow, classic white Lego skeleton, and then this like little dead fish. Like that's hilarious. And I could also see this being really cool in like a food mock or like a restaurant or a kitchen or like a
Mhm.
fishery. Like I see a lot of fun uses for this part. Maybe not as like NPU per se, but of course someone's going to come up with like genius
They'll find
NPU
a
for
way.
this,
Yeah.
obviously. But I really do think that this fills a fun niche where I feel like of all the dead animals you see in the world, this is definitely one of the most like common and useful ones, and it's a fun, playful inclusion.
I love your hot take is Lego needs to produce more dead animal molds.
Yeah.
They have
And
a
it's like, where's my
dead.
roadkill mock?
They have a dead horse, right? Is it a horse or a cow? I
Wait,
can never
what?
remember which. The skeleton horse.
Oh, this skeleton,
Oh,
it's
the
a horse.
thrustrel. Of
Yes,
course.
yes.
I thought you were like so you could like beat a dead horse, like
Oh,
metaphorically.
no, 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 no animals were harmed in the making of this Tips and Bricks podcast.
You're right though, a thrustrel does kind of count in a way.
I do like this mold. I mean, I don't really see like unique ways to use it, but like
Mm,
we said, the community will always find a way.
mhm.
Um, I'm actually gonna take something strange.
Mm.
I'm gonna take 7791, that weird axle with the
Oh,
paddle. I
Whoa.
Hey.
was
this.
very intrigued by this when I first saw it. But can you explain a little bit more, Bethany? Like, what does it do in the smart function?
Yeah. So in the smart bricks, what happens is you push a button, and there's two of these panels on either side, just for looks, because there's only a sensor on one side. But you push it down, and then these paddles move down. And so what's unique about them is that they are very, very thin, but they're sturdy. So they're like bracket thickness. Like you know how there's a skinny bracket, I guess it's half tile thickness, but
Mhm.
it's sturdy. It's unlike anything I've seen. Like
Hmm.
so like the I've got the gun piece that we were talking about, gun blade thing.
Oh, nice.
And it's like I could bend and snap
Yeah, that's like the bendable material. of
this
it.
one really fast. The paddle is very sturdy. So I feel like you could use that to wedge things and hold things.
I am not personally a great ball contraption person, but I
Mhm.
feel like this is a part that I could see
Yes.
being used a lot in
100%.
GBCs. I also feel like, well, as if we ever get one not in red, it could be cool architectural details because it just pops into an axle. So you
Mhm.
could have just these nice little waves, let's say around a castle, because why not? But also there's a specific, I'm trying to make a water park mock.
Mm.
And I was trying to have like the entrance of like where you push through a bar, whatever this term is.
Oh yeah. Yes, that would be
And like
amazing for
everything
that.
I've tried with it has been too long. Like I've
Mhm.
put it on some spinning axles and such. But when I saw this, I was like, this might be the perfect one, like to make the width for a mini dollar minifig to walk through, where it could like swing and either come back or fully rotate.
That's
So in my
perfect.
brain, that's what I'm thinking. But I feel like this could have a lot of use in the future.
If this had a bar instead of an axle, it would be so much
More
better.
useful. Agreed.
Way more
Disagree.
useful.
Disagree.
Why?
Why? Because the axle holds it on so much better. It's got way more strength to it.
A little bit more. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, it has a bit more strength, but I also think that like that reduces its actual function in use. Where
Sure.
like if you want to be able to have it like in anything that there's so many more things and Lego parts that hold a bar than hold an
Mhm.
axle. And I feel like I'm just thinking like let's
That's
say
fair.
this was in white and you could have like a cool eye print on it, and then you were able to like angle it with like an angled like bar stud to like have a cool like eye
Mm.
print like in a
Yeah.
and I
Okay,
don't know.
that's
But
fair.
It's more
That's fair.
rotatable for sure.
You
and more
know,
rotatable.
you know that the element design team was thinking through because you can also stick a bar into an axle connector.
Hmm.
So you know that they had to make the intentional choice to make this an axle and
It's for
bar
stability
end.
for the smart play sets
Which
for
makes
sure.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they want it to not fall apart.
Yeah.
And what's the last pick off the board, Bethany?
At first I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be hard. But honestly, I'm doing this by what part am I leaving behind? Because I know which one that I'm not mad at Lego for it. Okay, I'm not mad, but I'm not happy. I'm like, why? It is the little half plate R piece that's too wide. Like, do you know which guys I'm talking about? You know what
That
the R
curved
plate,
slope.
that curved slope. I call it the R plate because it looks like an
I
R.
mean, that makes sense. I've never thought of it as
Yep.
that.
And then these are the short R's or the dwarf R's. That's how my mind works. And the dwarves is like Lord of the Rings. And
You're picking that or you're leaving it behind?
I'm leaving it behind.
Okay, this was the second one that I
That
thought
one.
if it
I
wasn't
was
for
gonna
the
say that's what I
gunblade,
wrote.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the one I thought could be left behind. It's a little
Yeah.
too similar to the other one that
It's
exists already.
yeah, what is
So
the
similar.
what is the term for if it's something that can be made out of existing parts?
A poop. Parts out of other
Poop.
parts.
Yes, that. And that's what it is because
Mhm.
they released, I think it was in 2025, this
Mhm.
in a 1x2.
Yeah.
But then that was also a reimagining of a previous one that, like you said,
Mhm.
Evan, had like one extra stud underneath it. So they
Mhm.
basically cut it down by one, and now they've doubled it, which
Yeah.
feels like, why are
And
we
like,
doing this?
I understand why they do the 1x4 because they use those in cars and things like that. Like, I'm like, okay. Like, I
Totally.
understand. I don't love it, but I get it. But this one, I'm just like, come on. Like, I don't know. I'm in a grumpy mood today where I'm like, Lego, stick to the basic parts because I'm tired of reorganizing my stuff and I feel like it's getting too fancy. So I'm
Hmm.
over here in my grumpy old age. So therefore, I will take 7828 and 7829. Hey, look, 2 parts for the win. The modified wedge tile.
Are these
Oh
useful?
yeah, you get left and right.
Yeah, and
That's
I get
fun.
left and right one. Actually, they will be because
Yeah.
they work phenomenal for making layers and landscaping.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be nice to have some that don't have studs on them. It's like to create different effects so that so if you think about if they have a stud on it and you layer something on top, it has to be on stud for that to layer to happen.
Yeah, that
But
makes
if
sense.
you layer it and there's no stud, then you can like create, your own angles onto it. So it will be useful.
I'm pretty sure I've already used this part in a mock too this year on Studio. So this is a
wow.
good part. I like this
Yeah.
one.
And always
Overall-
good for mosaics.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Overall, I'm happy though. I'll take that over the
The
So
poop
Bethany,
part.
can you tell us what your full list is now of your three
Yes.
parts?
My full list of four, but not really, it's three parts, is the inverted bracket, the drooping leaf, which I like to think of like a willow leaf, drooping leaf, and then the two wedge tiles.
Nice. Clay, what are yours?
I had the unnatural cheese slope. I had the one. Sorry, that's what I will always think of it as now.
Yep.
I'll never
Yep.
be the corner one anymore. Also the round 1x1 quarter brick,
hmm
and then the strange axle paddle thing.
hmm
Mhm. Alex?
Hey, and mine were the 1x1 round leaf, round plate, sorry, with rounded leaf,
Mhm.
the steampunk gunblade, and the 1x1 curved slope corner round.
Nice. And mine were the 2x2 round corner plate, the steering wheel 3 studs wide, and the skeleton fish. So that was
With
pretty good. I wonder who has the
Yeah, I
best
can't. I'm
parts.
like looking at it now, and I really can't decide. I'm like, there's a dud on every team, and there's a
That's what I was
great
thinking
part on every
too.
team.
I don't
That's what I
feel
was
that I
thinking.
have a dud though. Like I will be using those wedge tiles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bethany,
you
I think
might
that
have the
you might have the
least dud.
best draft.
I kind of
Yours,
feel like I do.
you might be number one for me. Honestly, I really like mine though, to be honest. I really like my three part. Even the dead fish. I think it's kind of fun.
I
And
what
think
was
in the
Alex
end,
and
everyone's
Clay.
we all win.
what was everyone's prediction for what would be the last part? Because I really thought everyone was going to go the 1x1,
Oh,
sorry, the
the paddle.
axle, the paddle.
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
guessed with the
Yeah,
one that
just
Bethany left out that poop slope that previously existed in singular form.
Clay, you get an extra point for that for guessing the remainder.
Mm.
Woo!
You
Did you
take
make a prediction, Bethany?
I had thought the paddle, but then as we were going
Hmm.
on, I was like, I kind of like that paddle over my options. And then you took it, and then I was like, okay.
maybe I hate it now.
That would
Yeah,
have
I
been
feel
funny if you picked the paddle.
right, right. Well, and yeah, that would have been really funny. And like, you know how when you do a sets draft in real life, you always get to those parts where you're like, I need these, but they're not exciting. Sure,
Mhm.
I'll take them. Like that's how I feel about those tiles. I will use them. I need them, but I'm just like, okay, fine.
And you know, the funny part is, I will actually probably use a lot of that unpicked slope, especially seeing it in white, because it's
Yeah.
perfect for my winter village. And the fact that it's
Yeah.
like a little bit tighter, I'm like, I would actually use a lot of these, but it's also just so not exciting because I have a ton of the 1x2 ones. So I'm like, do I need it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there was an appropriate part to be left behind, but also, like you said, I don't think any of these parts are bad, except maybe
Apart
the
from the
unnatural
thank you,
corner
Evan.
slope.
Yeah. You will never see if you ever see me touching that part, just call for help. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Something's gone wrong.
Well, that does it for our new parts draft. I want everyone in the comments to think who ended up with the best team. And so, yeah, let us know. And then we are going to now move on to our question of the week, led by Bethany.
All right. So, for the question of the week, which is a burning question we like to share about Lego that we answer together, we are going to do something slightly different because this is our season finale. And we happen to have all four hosts here, which only happens at the beginning and the end of the podcast. And since we're releasing this at the halfway point in the calendar year, our question of the week is going to be kind of reflecting back but looking forward. So, as we head into the back end of 2026, the latter half, what is a Lego goal that you want to work on in 2026? So, this could be something that you have met your goal, or you had a goal and you like discovered you need the next step in the pathway, or this could be something that has just come to you. So we're kind of just like, what is your goals for the back half of 2026? So Clay, since you stole my red paddle, I will make you
Throw it
go
to me
first.
first. I mean, there's always like some goals in the background, like I mentioned, that water park thing, like that I've
Mhm.
kind of been working on for a few months here and there.
Yeah.
There's a couple sets that I've been kind of like upgrading and playing around with. Like they even have this dog's bakery back here from friends that I added some motion to, which I feel like motion has been a goal for multiple years. So it's nice that I'm like getting stuff that can actually move. So
I love
that's
it.
a goal I've
Wow,
been
very cool.
working
Whoa,
on.
that's so
I
cool.
love it
Yeah, it's
so
fun.
much.
Um, but one of the goals, thinking of the back half of the year, well, I can say this because she's not going to listen, but my mother-in-law, she likes Lego. We buy her like some botanicals and such, and probably for, I mean, it's been at least a year. She's always bugging me like, when are you going to make me a Lego cabin? When are you going to make me my log cabin? And I'm finally like, I really got to do this. And maybe around Christmas time or something. But like, I just have looked at some existing sets. I've browsed Rebrickable, and I'm just trying to still play around with it in my brain. But I would really like to put together some type of custom design for her
Mm.
that probably won't be big. Like she has all sorts of bookshelves and displays, but I'm thinking probably something like maybe 16 by 16-ish size. And I
Okay.
would like it just to be like clearly a log cabin, but she also loves seasonal displays in her home. Like she changes stuff out all the time for holidays. So I would love it to like be customizable. Like that new Cool Friends cozy cabin is so autumnal. We've seen
Hmm.
cool winter sets and spring ones. So I want to try to like make a log cabin, but give her enough of a scenery where she could like play around with it and change the seasons.
You should
Did
give her some extra parts to
Oh
like
yeah.
play around with it
And
too.
she does have extra parts already
Oh,
from
nice.
some of the sets we have, but yeah, I
s-
would need to.
so did I hear right? You're going to put it on a 16 by 16 plate?
That that's just like my brainstorm is
Okay.
about that footprint, I feel
Would
like.
would you do it then like micro scale or like what the Autumn Garden, the adult Japanese pagoda Autumn Garden, do you know that series? Do you know which one I'm talking
Oh, yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah.
Are
Uh-huh.
you going like
Like
more
that kind of
like
micro scale.
MIDI micro scale? Like what's your scale you're aiming for?
She liked the A-frame cabin, but said it was too big.
Hmm.
So that's like to me, I'm like, it has to obviously be smaller than that. And I guess it's a good question because she doesn't really have any minifigs in the sets that we've given her. So maybe it doesn't have to be minifig scale, which like in my
Okay.
brain, that's what I had been thinking was like using the log profile bricks,
Sure.
which would kind of work for minifig. But yeah, I guess there is the possibility of making it kind of that like not fully micro scale, but that kind of
Hmm.
even French restaurant, like some of those kind of
Yeah.
weird in between scales maybe would work.
Mm.
I like that. That's really cool. And um do you feel that you're going to like put it like on a display base, or is it going to be more of a, hey, I'm inviting you to be creative with it? Does that make sense? Like, are you
Yeah, yeah.
thinking finished build
I
or
think I would need the cabin to be finished and then
okay,
give her options like here's some green space on the side that you can
Mm.
drop stuff into, or here's a porch that you can put, something on,
cool.
even add like snow to the roof or something like that. So she doesn't mind building, but she prefers displaying. Like she has built all the botanical sets we've given her, but there's one she's had for a couple weeks. She's like, "Are y'all gonna come build this for me?" Like, I thought you liked building it, so. I think that she wouldn't mind like playing around with it, but I don't want to create instructions either. So
Oh,
I'd rather
yeah,
just give her
no.
the cabin and here's
Hmm.
some parts that you can play with on the side.
Mm. I love that.
That's really cool. Well, Alex, do you have any goals for you for going into the back half of the year?
I do. So I think my goal for the rest of 2026 is, I guess, to find my love of the hobby again a little bit
Mm,
because I've been doing tips and bricks now for becoming up to 9 years, and I've absolutely loved it. My favorite part is definitely working with the amazing team we have. Um, but I feel like because I've been doing it for so long, it's lost some of the excitement, which I'm a bit
mm,
sad about, but that's the reality of things, right? And you've got to, rather than just carrying on with the same, you've got to like take a moment, reflect on that, and do something about it. So
yeah.
um, some of the team have been stepping up to do some of the more like admin side of things. So big thank you to Clay, who's been great over the past week in making sure all the posts go out. Been doing a great job. I think I'm just going to step away from the admin side of Tips and Bricks, still be involved, just trying to find my love and passion for the hobby again. So
Mm.
probably start by just building a few more sets. I'm going to be doing a few more reviews still because I really enjoyed those. But then I hope to this summer when I have some free time get back into some mocks. There's Bricktastic in the UK coming up, which is February, so that's still a long time away. But I think we're going to do a massive Pokemon collab for that. Obviously, with all the sets coming out this year, I think there's going to be lots of people loving the Pokemon. And the idea will be is can we just build as many Pokemon as possible, and I will certainly be contributing to that. So yeah, I'd say that's my main goal for 2026.
I love
Well,
that.
I'm so proud of you for recognizing that you're at burnout and then doing something about it to stay in the hobby. We've had episodes and guests on where we've talked about burnout, and it is real and legit. And I think part of the hobby process being an AFL, and so I'm really proud of you for recognizing that. When it comes to sets that you're looking forward to building, do you have a genre that you're like, oh yeah, can't wait for this, or is it more like whatever my backlog brings me?
Good question. I'm very specific in which sets I collect, but I always love a botanical, as you'll have
Mm.
seen from my parts, Joss, with the leaf picks. I think I've got the ginger cat coming to review, which I'm very
Ooh.
excited for. I
Ooh.
can't believe we didn't review the tuxedo cat, but
Hmm.
because my parents have two white cats. They're still not quite done that, but I really want to get a ginger cat when I'm older, so this would be perfect. So I feel
Hmm.
like anything that's just like a great display piece, like ideas, sets I love, botanicals I love, architecture. So yeah, we'll see. We shall see.
And I love too that you're going like you're still going to the shows and got Bricktastic coming. What kind of mock are you hoping, like part of your goals, thinking big picture category, like something architecture, something character, something sculpting? What would be like the genre that you're hoping to pursue with some of your mocks? If you've gotten that far. If you haven't,
Yes.
no worries.
So I did bring along three Pokemon builds to last year. It was, if anyone's a
Ooh.
big Pokemon fan, you'll know these, otherwise you maybe won't. But it was Shinx, Luxray, and Luxio because I used those in my
Yes.
Pokemon Pearl first run through. I
Hmm.
love those. And I did them at quite small scales. They were really cheap, really easy to design. I have to say, I did use the 1x2, the brick no one wanted in the last round.
Hmm.
Wait,
It
really?
was perfect. It was perfect for the front of Shinx and Luxray's head because I
Okay.
needed it to be small. I needed to fit parts in. So it's perfect. So actually, I'll take that part. Every part has its use. But I
That's
really enjoyed
fun.
that scale and the
Mm.
sculpting element. So
Okay.
I think that will be my challenge for next Bricktastic. I'll probably make like another evolution line or two. We'll
Hmm.
see
I
because they're a
love
lovely
doing
scale. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what we come up with.
doing an
Alex, were you
evolution line.
also a Pearl player over Diamond?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was Pearl. My sister was Diamond, but Pearl all the way.
I was Pearl too, but I feel like everyone was so pro Diamond that I felt like I was like fighting a battle every day. Everyone was like, Diamond's the better one. I'm like, no, I love
I'm
Pearl.
not gonna
So
lie, I don't remember how we got them, but my sister's 2 years older, so she probably pulled rank and got diamond, even if never did
yeah.
diamond. Who knows? But anyways, I was very happy with my pearl.
Same, same, same.
I confess I know nothing of Pokemon, and so all those words have just went shoo, right over my head. But I can tell that everyone is excited, so I can tell it's a good thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, Evan, I know that you are working on your is it? It's not the sarcophagus. It's more the
The
burial
Pharaoh
mask.
tomb. Yeah,
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 the
yeah, that.
more the burial mask. It reminds me very much of like a King Tut burial mask. It looks so good. Do you have any goals as you're going into the back half of
Yeah.
2026?
Yeah, and sadly not going to Brickworld this year, which is such a
No.
bummer. But I think that my focus is actually going to be a little bit away from mocks is my goal. I was really thinking
Oh.
about like what do I want like my goal to be? And it's kind of something that I've started, and I think that this like mask, Egyptian mask is kind of related to it, where I kind of want to let go a little bit of like the purism that I feel with Lego products themselves. I think for
Mm.
so long I've had a hard time really customizing, and if I do customize a set, I make sure to like bag up the parts that like I use separately or incorporate it somewhere else in the build, so like the whole like complete Lego set was still together in some way.
Mhm.
But I'm trying to just like kind of let go of that. Like I'm really using this hobby to enjoy it. I'm not here for like the resale value of anything, you I'm really here to just like love what I have and what I have on display. And so I've been leaning more into like alt builds. Like I
Mm.
find, for example, that the last X-Wing that Lego came out with that I have is maybe a bit too big now that they've come out with a lot of other cool Star Wars ships that are a bit of smaller scale. I feel like the X-Wings feel so big and out of place. And so I went on Rebrickable and found this really cool mod that took the set and then some like other parts and like shrunk it down a little bit. And so I'm gonna do
Mm.
that and just I'm gonna take those extra parts and I'm just gonna put them in a separate bin and not worry about it because you know what? At the end of the day, this is gonna hopefully be displayed forever, you know? And so I'm trying to let go a bit of that purism feeling and this mod sets when I want and like use sets for alt builds when I feel like it, and yeah, I think that that's like that feeling of just like letting go and that freedom feels really nice.
Oh, I am so glad. It makes me happy when people feel that freedom and joy and can let their creativity shine. So that makes me really happy for you that you're feeling that. Ah, so
hmm
now I need to know, what's the first set or theme type set that you're going to go attack on your shelf?
Oh, I think Star Wars already. I actually put in a Rebrickable order last night for that X-Wing specifically to
Okay.
change the size of it. I think there was like one other thing I wanted to change in a Star Wars set too, that I'm trying to remember now what it was. But definitely Star Wars. I'm getting really into Star Wars as every episode I feel like on the podcast I've been saying.
Yes.
I actually have to disagree with you, Alex. I don't think just season one of The Mandalorian is great. I think that season two was also really great, and maybe season three gets bad, but I'm now a couple episodes into season three and I'm really liking it. So I'm definitely full on my Star Wars train, gonna definitely buy some more sets, and maybe because this is perfectly entering my phase of freedom, I feel really excited about buying an imperfect Star Wars set and modding it to
Mm,
my own desire.
okay. It has been
Wow.
such a hilarious joy to watch your transition of like, meh, Star Wars, give it or leave it at the
Yeah.
beginning of this podcast. And now you are like, let's discuss season 3 episode.
Yeah, we're
Lizzo.
gonna have a fight with Alex over it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How are the rules of reversed, Evan? How are the rules of
Mhm.
reversed?
Well,
Bethany, what about
Amazing.
you?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
great question. I was like, well, we're done for today. Uh, my goal at the beginning of the year had been to do something with lighting. And so, Alex, we had a podcast together where we talked with Braden about lighting, and you guys were like, hey, check out Light My Bricks when they have a clearance sale. And I did. And it was a clearance sale. So I bought a bunch of stuff and was just like, sure, what is money? But threw it in my cart. And I've had so much fun doing it and trying to use it as a light as a character in my builds. So it brings an element to life. So I'm not just going, I have lit my street lamps. I'm going dynamic lighting. Like I want it to tell a story as it brings the light coming out. So I will have my minion museum, where I've got 8 rooms to the museum, and each room of the museum has a different style of lighting. But they in a cohesive way, not in like a not in a one
Not
is
in a
blinking and one is
flash, yeah.
yeah, no, not like that, but just just a different perspective. Like one of them lights a jellyfish container that's slowly pulsing, and another lights behind a dinosaur that casts shadows on the wall. So I was very happy that thanks to this podcast I was able to get into lighting. So that was the first half of the year. Back half of the year, I probably owe it to my family to organize my parts and my mess, because I keep going, oh, when I'm feeling better and when I have time. And it's amazing how neither of those seem to line up at the same time. So I probably need to spend some time in organization. We worked on making sure the what of our Lego room is good. Like we made sure that it follows our building processes. So we made sure that the things we use most are at, the best reaching level. So the stuff we go to often is not super high, super low. We have some stuff that we keep in the garage that we're like, it's just put them out there. We're not going to use all the tires we've ever owned.
The steampunk gun blades
Steampunk gun blades,
all out in the garage.
whole drawer of those in the garage. I actually think they're cool. I'm not going to hate on them, but I think being able to make the room a clean space. We're running out of display room, which is, the bane of every AFOL. And so we've really taken the time to make sure if I bring a set in, it means I have to take something away. Is this worthy of bumping XYZ off the shelf? So that's kind of some of what we're working on. As a builder, I really want to do some movement automaton builds with sculpted characters, with people. So I had wanted to do that in time for Brickworld Chicago, but things happened that it didn't work. So I think I'm going to go, you know what, this way I don't have to rush for June. I'm going to just enjoy. I think the hardest thing is I haven't found a story I want to bring to life. Like,
Was you did that Winnie the Pooh thing for Brick Nerd? Did that inspire movement, or do you feel like that one wouldn't really work with it?
Winnie the Pooh is built so solid. There is no
Ah.
way anything on him could ever possibly move with any kind of motorization. So I thought about like taking Piglet and making his rainy day where he's spinning on the chair and the water and some other things, but I need to find a story that I want to bring to life first. That's my big hang up. If I don't know the story, if I can't visualize what's going to happen in my head, it's very hard for me to build. So that's my goal.
It's exciting. Did your
Yeah.
lighting journey like change the way you planned for Night of Lights at Brickworld Chicago?
Yeah, like it's made like I knew that it would look cool at Night of Lights, and now I'm like I can't wait. Like it's going to be we've turned it on when it's been dark outside, and like it's just so fun. Especially like some of the rooms look super creepy because there's movement in each of the rooms as well, and so you've got the interplay of shadows, and some are just fun, and I'm very excited. So yeah,
To
so
have both movement and light is so dynamic.
yeah. Yeah. I've had some friends over. I'm like, look at what I built. Like I'm 6 years old. And I drag them into the room and
That's impressive.
They're like, oh, wow, this is cool. And then I turn on the motion and they're like, oh, and then I turn on the lights and they're like, oh. So it makes me happy to bring all those storytelling elements to play. So
Next, you can incorporate the smart brick and have sounds too.
Gosh.
I could.
How can
Da-
Refuel
I could.
fit
So,
into
okay.
this?
I was going to do it, but
really?
Rambling Brick took it to a convention, and there's so much background noise at a convention with just audience noise, like, think baseball stadium noise, so much noise that nobody could hear the brick at full volume. And so I was devastated because I was going to make a mock that used the smart brick so people could have fun. And I was just like, oh, okay, well.
There must be some way to connect it to a speaker.
I
know
tried.
you're not using the, but you still could get the sounds.
I did that.
The
I tried.
refueling.
I have a portable microphone like tour guides wear,
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
it doesn't pick up on the microphone, which is why when Lego did some of their demos, ran into the issue because our microphones are so smart. They go, that's not a voice. We'll filter it out. So, and this is a very dumb microphone. It's like, it looks like a Walkman microphone, and it still couldn't pick it up. I was bummed, but maybe we'll find a way.
Will people be able to use smart brick at conventions for light purposes, or do you
possible.
feel like it would be like too much of a quick burst to have an impact?
I think there are some people who build like collisions and explosions and things like that I think that could be really fun, especially if they say some people do like step on a pedal, light the build. Especially if they have like push a button and it mechanically moves something that the light comes on. I think that could be cool.
I was just thinking of the parade of cars that they did at Brickworld Chicago.
Yes.
And I was just thinking of like, if there were smart bricks and that, then the cars could be like flashing as they drive, maybe.
Yeah. I think that there's potential that the lights could be useful, especially as Lego pulls out more smart tiles with more light options. Who knows? Possibly. But for now, you shall find me not using a smart brick in my
you and everyone else.
And it feels appropriate to end our question of the week with smart play. So on that note, thanks guys for sharing your goals. I look forward to seeing how you pursue them or how your journey takes you. And to anyone out there who is listening, if you have a goal, we would love to know it because 1, we want to cheer you on, and 2, knowing that somebody's working on something helps us want to make posts that are helpful. Like we make the posts because we want to help. So if you have a goal and you're like, man, I wish I knew how to blah, 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 please let us know because we would love to make that post and maybe even learn along with you. All right, Alex, I shall throw it over to you.
Thank you very much, Bethany. So that is all we have time for on today's episode of the Tips and Bricks podcast. We also want to remind everyone that we're recruiting contributors to join the team, which is very exciting. We always love meeting you guys and are very keen to bring some of you onto the team. We plan to close the application form at the end of June, so there's still some time to get your application in, but make sure you apply as soon as you can, because the end of June is going to fly by. You can look back at post 3125 for all of the details. Use the link in our bio to check out some notes and the application form.
And
Awesome.
I will add too that if you're feeling nervous, like do I feel like you're sending the application into the void? Clay and I are some of the people who are helping with the recruitment. So just know that like you've heard us. Hopefully you've gotten to know us a little bit. Just know that it's just your fellow AFLs who will be looking at things. So please take that brave step and apply because you won't regret it. It'll be good. For those who are at Brickworld, I'm guessing by the time this drops, Clay, I think you said this is dropping.
And you might literally be talking to someone from behind the Tips and Bricks table while this episode is landing on their phone.
Okay, I
Who
love it.
knows?
So the goal I think is that as you are driving home from Brickworld on that post high and super tired, you will hear our melodious voices accompanying you on the highway. So it was a pleasure seeing all of you at Brickworld Chicago, even though it hasn't happened yet.
We hope you enjoyed Brickworld Chicago 2026.
That's right.
And be sure to tune into our next episode. I think from now on, because we kind of finished this season 2 format, we're going to try something a little bit different, I think. Or I think we're going to post singular segments as YouTube episodes and then have the full podcast audio still available on Spotify, Audible, whatever, Apple Music, whatever you listen to your podcast on. But we're going to try something a little bit different to get out more, I would say, maybe not tangible. What's the digestible?
Regular. More regular and,
Yeah.
and quick digestible. I think digestible is a great word.
Digestible is a
Yeah.
great word. Yeah. So we might change up the format just a little bit, but it's going to be the same type of content. So yeah, check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. The links can all be found in the podcast description.
Do you want to close out this bit, Clay?
Sure. And of course, if y'all did enjoy this episode, we love for y'all to rate and review us on all those podcast apps that Evan just described in detail. And, hit us up on YouTube, Instagram, follow us, and also give us suggestions too. Like Evan said, we might be playing around with some new stuff. So tell us what y'all love, tell us what could sharpen or be better, and we will try to implement what we can in our future episodes that y'all will find us everywhere. So until next time, I'm Clay with Bethany, Alex, Evan, everybody else. Have a great day and happy building, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.